Welcome back to Roadsteading. Lauren and Ben here, and today we're going to talk about our 86D diesel convection oven. Just over 6 months ago, we installed this diesel oven.
Your diesel may be an inline 6 or a V8, but can it make banana bread?
After 6 months of owning these, we want to do a review on the diesel oven and its operation. So let's start with some specifications.
This diesel oven has no DEF fluid.
This oven takes 9 amps of 12-volt DC electricity for the first 7 minutes to get it started. Once it's started, it drops to 0.15 amps of power consumption. That's crazy. Less than a quarter of an amp of power to run this oven. And that's less than the light inside. The light inside takes half an amp to power. So it takes more energy to run that light than it does to run the oven. Now it is a diesel oven, so it's also going to take diesel fuel. It takes 3.4 to 7.4 ounces. I said ounces of fuel to run. Now that is going to depend on what temperature you have it running at, how much fuel it's going to consume. And it does operate off of number 1 or number 2 diesel, which is readily available in the lower 48 where we are. So we've had no problems finding fuel to power this oven. It is extremely simple to operate this oven. Set the dial to the desired temperature, flip the switch to on, and away it goes. And an on and off switch for the light. Now, the dial is in Celsius. And coming from a country where we don't primarily operate in Celsius for temperature, it has been a learning curve to do that conversion from Celsius to Fahrenheit so that I have the correct temperature setting. Dependent on the desired temperature, this oven can take about 30 minutes to preheat. One of the things I had a little bit of anxiety about before purchasing this oven was the size of it. The overall interior space of the propane oven is larger than the diesel oven. But when I realized that the usable cooking space in the propane oven was very similar to that of the diesel convection oven, it was very relieving. It was very difficult for me to get over the fact that a large portion of the interior space in the propane oven was being used for the burner mechanism. When I got my head wrapped around the fact that the usable space for cooking in the propane oven was roughly the same as the diesel oven, it was very relieving. In fact, all of my baking dishes that I used in the propane oven fit in the diesel oven, except for one casserole dish, which really didn't fit that well in the propane oven to begin with. I always had to put it in at kind of an awkward angle. Now, the win-win of this is that when we received the diesel oven, it came with a casserole dish, so problem solved. One of the things we really like about this diesel oven and the diesel cooktop is that when they're operating, there's no noise on the exterior of the fifth wheel. Unlike our S-Bar D5 diesel heater, which does make some noise from the exhaust pipe. These are virtually silent on the outside, so we don't have to worry about disturbing our neighbors. We have been extremely happy with our purchase of the Wallas 86D diesel convection oven. It works really well, and Ben has been really happy not having to search for propane.